Squad, we'll take down the washing. Wait for the order and number the folds. Squad, take down washing. Unpeg 2, 3, down 2, 3. Unpeg 2, 3, down 2, 3. Unpeg 2, 3, down 2, 3. Last Irishman I met with an idea shot a corporal in the back while he was having a pint. A nation of heroes, the Irish. If I see you doing a bit of dancing without moving your arms, or fricking with your rosemary beans, or looking at a bit of clover longer than seems natural, or in any way acting Irish, I will take that cigarette paper fashioned for Mr. Smertz's dick, fill it with gunpowder, shove it up your arse, and send you as a fucking rocket to the Pope! I'm watching you, Kemp. Poe! What was you in Civvy Street that makes you talk like a tit? School teacher, colour sergeant? Oh, school teacher. And what did you teach? Geography, literature, languages, a smattering of Latin, Marxist theory? You what? Educating the working classes against being used to further the profits of the industrial and landowner classes through the repression of native peoples, the urban poor, and the co-opting of the academic class into semantic, literary and irrelevant discourse, thus postponing our awakening and our ownership of the means of production. Shut up! The vegetables is looking all right, sir. Could use a bit of rain, sir. I'm having the last of the antelope I shot today, sir. I can't refrigerate it, but I've had antelope steaks, antelope pies, antelope sausages, antelope patties with antelope gravy, antelope ribs, antelope haggis using Corporal McBain's recipe, an antelope surprise, sir. Which wasn't that much of a surprise, to be honest. Inventory of the officer's liquor cabinet, sir. I've marked the levels on the beverages. Gin, 3/4 decanter, approximately 2 bottles in reserve. Half decanter of the Macallan single malt whiskey, 3 bottles in reserve. Quarter decanter of the Frog brandy, none in reserve. All present, correct? Ha! We was professional soldiers. Wrong fucking pipe. Well, you're a sombre bloody lot. Who's got a yarn? Come on. One of you must have something to say for yourselves. Kemp, stand to attention and tell me why a broken down, low down Irish Mick joins the British Army. Come on your feet. I need money to send home to my mar. I can't understand a fucking word. What? Money for my mar. Oh, you're breaking my heart. Why are you here, Kemp? I won't say it keeps me awake at night, but I'd like to know what an Irishman is doing in the King's Army. I need money for my bra, my ma, my brother at university, and my sisters with their babbies, because one's got a walleye and the other's not taking the milk, and there's 3 in schooling now, and my dad was hit with a pneumonia which has stopped him from working, and what with Uncle Padraig in the house, there's a powerful need of money because they all want their meat and potatoes. 1st of July, 1916. Greatest attack in the history of the British Army. The Battle of the Somme. Fix bayonets! Says the Sergeant Major. 17 I was, 2 years in. Isn't that right, Tim? Captain Marsh walks the line before we go over the top. Now, he was a proper officer. He rode a horse, carried a cane, like a real gentleman, and led from the front. Steady, lads, keep your eye. Look to your front, don't gun sharp, there's the ticket. Exactly right. Sounds like a dickhead, but exactly right. At least I got you lot. Don't know what I'd do out here on my own. Go balmy, probably. Start talking to myself. Do you miss having an audience, Private Smerts? I'll do it that, Colour Sergeant, I'll do it that, yeah. Well, why don't you let Mimpando and his mates hear your routine, Private Smerts? Let them know I ain't here on my own. Yeah, could do that, yeah. Without further ado, please let me introduce to you Otto Schulzenberger, MD, PhD, DSO and Bar, Gold Star, La-di-da, VD. Thank you. By the your brain says to the washing. Part of your brain says have a sleep. Part of your brain says laugh like crazy. Part of your brain says have a weep. Allow me to demonstrate. This orange is your brain. This cricket bat is the force of equilibrium or balance, as they call it in the biz. Your thoughts roll this way and that. If you don't keep it moving, it'll squash you flat. That's a complicated way of saying this. But to be more accurate, this. But I'm no expert. Only joking. I am. Therefore, I think. What's wrong with that statement? Get a piece of pencil and the paper. Don't ask me why. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's cut through the jargon. Ipso facto ergo litmus deja vu. That's a complicated way of saying ipso facto. Therefore, ergo, that proves. Litmus, that's litmus test without the test part. Deja vu felt like it already happened. Which translates as, therefore that proves that litmus test without the test part felt like it already happened. I want to sort of be clear about that. Good. I'm not going to lie to you. The world is coming to an end. Seal the exits. We're all going to die. You and me both. Thank you. All right, knock it up. I've seen the sunset over Egypt. 600 men in column marching across the desert. Only sound of clinking water bottles. And blank-eyed pythons catching the orange of the day. All our faces looking at the colours of the desert, purples and blues. And all that desert out there. Swallow up a man. Cricket. 5 days. Boring. Nothing happens. Perfect for subduing natives. Football. Full of cheating, shoving, lying and whinging. And therefore, perfect for Italians. Rugby. Violent, warlike, patriotic. Perfect for small nations with chips on their shoulders, like New Zealanders. And Australians. Lawn bowls. Perfect for old bastards. And then, of course, there are these special cases like baseball, originally rounders, and gridiron, originally rugby, played by Americans against Americans, so they don't have to face up to just how shit they are. See these here? I got these in Bombay, Grant Road, haunt of whores and cutthroats and the best artists in the world. Underrated, of course. People prefer Monet. Them water lilies is on the front of the biscuit tin. Like looking at the world through a fucking fish tank, all blurry and green. All that prick Picasso, who makes women look like they need re-stumping. But these were done by Harmby Dal Singh, a fine artist of great antiquity who specialises in snakes that wrap around the forearm and women in the altogether. Private Jones of the Welsh Fusiliers got a burn on the back of his arm who bends over and shows her ass every time he picks up a pint. Clever that. Much cleverer than Monet. Oh yes, America. The empire that never was. The empire that dare not speak its name. The empire you have when you're not having an empire. How many Americans does it take to change a light bulb? One to change the light bulb, one to float the light bulb on the stock exchange, one to gamble on the future success of the light bulb, one to litigate against the damaging effects of the light bulb on the eyeball, and one to take that poor little downtrodden light bulb to Capitol Hill to fight for the certain inalienable rights of the fucking light bulb. In the British Army, we do not retreat, we advance in the opposite direction. We keep our rank, we keep our discipline, we keep our rear protected, as they say in the boys' home. Gonna have to leave you now, lads. Time I moved on to where I've got to go. Time we all moved on. Don't you think? That goes for you too, Ted. Don't want to hang around with an old sod like me. Time you pushed off with your mates. Time I pushed off and all. Square, Chen! Square, turn around! Square! All around! Square!